What's the last straw that made you go, yep, that person is definitely crazy? Have to say it wasn't me, but a story from a coworker of mine. He was in his basement apartment one night, and after coming out of the bathroom, one of his ex-girlfriends was standing in the hallway just staring at "Hi monsieur." He immediately told her to get the fuck out, as any person would. She followed it by pulling out a steak knife from her back pocket and swinging it around, making some pretty crazy statements. He managed to get the knife away from her, and then she pulled out another one. This girl had a pack of steak knives in her pocket. She then proceeded to stab herself in the neck. I think that's when he realized she was pretty off. She survived. They're dating now. That's when I realized my coworker was crazy. Edit. Huge thanks to everyone for the 3 silvers. Have never received one before. The top comment. First time for that as well. And all the awesome comments. Sorry I can't respond to all of them. For those of you saying it's fake, I get how crazy it sounds. And if I wasn't worried about keeping some anonymity, I would release all the exact details about it. It is all 100% true. But thanks again everyone. Edit 2. Finally realizing why people kept tagging our award speech edits. Now I look like an idiot. I had an extremely clingy friend that texted and tried to call me 50 million times a day. Well, I was having a really shitty day and I wasn't in the mood to converse with her at all and just ignored her. She called the police and told them she thought I had committed suicide. That was fun. Oh boy. I went to a music fest with a girl I had been friends with for just a few months. She knew I had had seizures in the past. We get separated at some point and she has the medical staff of a major music festival looking for me, and she called my then girlfriend, now wife, and made her drive to said music fest to find me because she thought I was seizing. I was at the rendezvous point that she picked. I knew beforehand, but when my son's mom sent a text message to me threatening to kill my son while he was with her, I now have full custody. So, I was friends with this girl in high school who was a grade above me, and I thought she was so cool. She had these amazing stories of things that happened in her life. After a few years, I started to wonder if she was lying. There were little things I'd catch her in. I started to think she might be a compulsive liar. And then one day I knew when we had a conversation in the mall parking lot. We parked, got out, and began walking to the building. Here's the conversation that followed. Me: I like your outfit. Where do you get those shoes? Her: they're my roommates. We had a party at our house and someone stole all my shoes. Me: oh, that's terrible, I'm sorry. Her: haha, yeah? Where do you get your outfit? Me: blah blah blah, who cares? Her: I love that store. I got my shirt at. Who cares? And these shoes are my roommates. We took all my shoes to a bar when we were out drinking and gave them away. Me: okay. Then we keep walking, and as we get to the door, her: let's go into Wet Seal first, that's where I bought these boots. This whole conversation happened as we walked to the mall, and her story changed 3 fucking times. And she definitely was not fucking with me. Those people are fascinating. For a minute, it's weird when they tell a story that happened to you or you were there when it happened. When my druggy college roommate tried to piss off the girls living in the dorm room next to us by banging his head on the wall constantly to piss them off with a noise. I still don't even know why he hated them. He just did. There are quite a bit of reasons to hate your neighbors, none of which justify banging your head in the wall just to piss them off. A man came into the bar I work at. He's a semi-regular and is quite energetic but harmless. Everything was as normal. He drank his small Sauvignon Blanc and left. This is where it gets weird. He came back in a couple of hours later and I asked him if he'd like the same wine he had last time. He stared at me, dead-eyed and completely silent for maybe 30 seconds, before laughing. He went on to tell me that I must be confusing him for his twin brother, and that in fact his brother was from Earth but he is from another planet. and there couldn't possibly be anything suitable for him to drink in our bar because his digestive system is completely different from ours. This went on for a while. He eventually left and came back in an hour or so later, had a glass of wine, and left again. He's perfectly nice and respectful, so isn't a problem, and there's a whole community of people looking out for him. But he's definitely crazy. Edit. Worked out greater than work it. TFW, you're so socially awkward you have to pretend you're an alien twin. Asterisk, oh my god, they remember me. Say something so they'll stop talking. Asterisk. It was my twin brother. I'm an alien. Asterisk, nailed it. Asterisk. My brother started dating this girl and I thought she was a little clingy and insecure, but I chalked it up to being a little nervous around her new boyfriend's family. However, she had been with my brother for less than 6 months when I got engaged. In a conversation about wedding dates, I said I wanted to get married in October. She immediately got upset and started crying to my brother. She didn't want me to steal her dream wedding date, and she told me that the entire month of October was off limits. She expected my brother to propose to her and they'd get married that year. Yep, she cray. Luckily my brother eventually realized she was a little unhinged and dumped her ass. And I had my wedding in October. Take that, bitch. Well, I don't understand why some people take weddings way too seriously. Many relationships are ruined over weddings. I mean, it's just one day. Glad your brother finally wised up. Asterisk, talking to a girl I didn't know that well. Asterisk. Her. Oh, I'm an only child. Me. Really? I could never imagine being an only child. What's that like? Her. It gets lonely sometimes, but you get used to it. You know? Asterisk, fast forward a few minutes. Asterisk. Me. I really like your bracelet. Her. Thanks. My sister gave it to me. In my head. Okay, something doesn't add up. So I decide to ask her. Me. Oh, really? I thought you were an only child. Her. No way. I have 7 siblings, lol. Yep. Compulsive liar and definitely crazy. Being an only child is hard, especially when you have 7 siblings. I was at a Halloween party several years ago with a secondary, tertiary friend group. You know the kind. I was kinda friends with some of them. Only barely knew others. But it was a costume party and I didn't have anywhere else to be. So I went. There was a guy who was near to the center of said group that was always a lil fucky. Everyone called him Prison, his name, because he had been to prison. I had run into him a few years before when I was maybe 14 and he offered me $20 to show him my tits. He was at least 20 at that time. Real class act. Well, during the party he pulls out a loaded fucking gun and starts waving it around saying he could end it all right there or some shit. 2 guys managed to get it from "Hi monsieur," now he's pissed and running around the house yelling. A 3rd guy steps in and decides to break down the gun. So like one guy has all the bullets and one guy gets the actual gun. Someone else took the clip. No one else reacted. They were just like, "Welp." Typical prison name behavior. So that's the day I decided that entire circle was batshit crazy. Edit. I've been informed that handguns do not have clips. They have magazines. I apologize to the gun community for the mistake. He goes and shoots someone over spilling his drink. Oh, typical prison guy, always overreacting. Who wants to do jello shots? I call a yellow one. Quote. Edit. Becky likes the yellow ones. Obviously, prison guy isn't the only crazy one in this situation. Pretty much exactly that. He was always angry about something and willing to make a scene about it. He also passed around a joint once that was laced with crack and didn't tell anyone. So a ton of people in my friend group smoked crack and didn't know until a few minutes after the fact. Ex-girlfriend legally changed her surname to mine through deed poll. Edit. Not deed poll. After 1.5 years relationship. This might only be kind of related, but my friend's ex purposely got herself pregnant by a different man right after my friend and her broke up, and then named the kid after my friend like the kid was a junior. WTF, that is so crazy. My ex calling the cops on me because she thought I was trying to poison her. I bought salted butter instead of unsalted. My flatmate's ex got drunk and mad at him for reasons unknown. She vomited into a bucket, then stared him in the eye and tipped it all over our lounge floor. Then she tried to throw a pizza she chewed up and spat into her hand, missed him and hit someone else, then put her hand through our window, as in she literally broke the window by shoving her arm through it, and smeared the blood all over the walls and floor, all the while saying pathetic shit about him and being a general bitch. This was all in the space of about an hour. At 11 a.m. the relationship didn't last long after that. She continued to blackmail him after they broke up. Definitely had some issues, I think. Edit. Clarification. My husband's cousin is the only female in the family that is around my age, so when we used to go to family functions I tended to hang out with her. Our friendship blossomed and she was who I considered to be my best friend. We both had 3 kids and they all loved each other, so we just spent a lot of time together. My husband always told me she was crazy, that she would turn on me. But I just thought they grew up together and had some weird kind of sibling rivalry kind of thing going on. Her ex-husband hated her. Court cases for custody were happening all the time. It was nasty. They weren't allowed to be in the same room together per court order even. I only heard her side of the story, so I, of course, just assumed it was him. That was horrible. Fast forward a few years. She is remarried and has a new baby with her new husband. She's an interior decorator and has always been struggling financially. But somehow all of a sudden she is buying all the things. New iPods for all the kids, including mine. Gaming laptop for her oldest. Furniture. Electronics. She pays a year of rent so she won't have to think about it. While I'm over there because I'm now an approved supervisor for the supervised visitation her ex-husband has imposed through the court. She starts screaming at her new husband for not loading the dishwasher correctly and pushes him fully, with real force, down the stairs. He somehow manages to be okay, but she doesn't stop. Runs after him with clear plans to attack. The guy has to literally flee his own home. I packed up the 3 older kids and my kids and got out of there. I didn't report it because she guilted me into thinking she had PPD and would be fine. One Valentine's Day she decides she wants to have a party for the kids. The time didn't work out for me, so I told her we couldn't attend. She lost her shit and called me every name she could think of. She took things I had said to her in confidence and told our whole family. I got pages and pages of scathing emails. I was crushed. 5 years later she remarried again and had 2 more babies with a new guy. She called DCF on her 15-year-old son, claiming he sexually molested her 2-year-old daughter. Had zero evidence but decided because she was acting weird that this must have been what happened. After a heated altercation with new guy where police were called, she now has lost custody of all 6 kids and begs me to come to court to be character witness. Edit, because I forgot to explain the money spending. She had gotten a new big client who gave her an expense account to decorate his multi-million-dollar home. She spent about $200K of his money and was sued. I wish you'd gone to court as a character witness. Just not the one she was expecting. When someone has known someone for 20 years and says they are bad news, believe them, monsieur. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.